about the production you've seen out of Brock? I mean, we talk about him every week, but this week he even exceeds that. He ends up having his first career 3-touchdown game.
I mean, Brock did some good things. Had some plays he missed too. So I mean, he's playing solid. He's one of the reasons we've been doing this well the last month or so, and guys around him are playing at a high level, and we're real happy with Brock.
We haven't seen a whole lot of Elijah, Christian, and Debo together. Heading into the playoffs, like how do you go about formulating your plan? Like, how do you want to use those guys? How much can you use them? All those guys could be absolute workhorses for you, but there's only one football. How do you approach that?
Just keep doing it the same way we've done it when they have been in or when they haven't been in. Like we balance it out, we spread it around, we see how it ends up at the end of the game, but you never go in saying, hey, I'm going to just get this guy the ball this much or that guy. You have a game plan, and we have opportunities to spread it around a lot, and then you just see how the game unfolds. You see how they're defending people, and that usually takes care of itself.
Defense gave up the big touchdown in coverage, but a jump ball gave up some yards, obviously, last week. Is there a level of concern, or are there things that you've got to fix on that back end, or just in the secondary?
There's always concerns from a coaching staff perspective, not just with the D, but there's offense, special teams. I mean, I try not to say anything in here that makes it look like I'm too negative, but we're going to go in there and correct everything. I mean, there was things with the offense I didn't like today. There was things always that you see. You know, I think the big plays have hurt us lately. They had that trick play on that first drive and launched the ball up to A.J. Green, who's as good of a 50-50 ball guy as there is. So I like that there wasn't a busted coverage or anything. They got a trick play, and he went up for it. I wish our two guys could have made it, but they didn't. And then he did a hell of a job making the big play after that. I thought their next scoring drive, you know, I thought we had them stopped. It seemed to me like there was a clip on that 3rd and 14. I thought that's what I saw. They didn't. Either it wasn't or they missed it, and that allowed them to extend that drive. And then we kind of broke down on the one drive after that. Besides that one play and that one drive, you know, our defense did what we expected them to do, and I think they're real excited for next week.
Kyle, how well do you feel like you know Brock, given that it's been a limited sample size, maybe in comparison to a quarterback that you've had for a full season going into the playoffs?
I think we got a pretty good idea of Brock, just his personality and his traits and stuff as a player, what he's capable of. But every time you go into a game or a practice, it's a new learning experience. It's been real fun going through this with him the last month or so. And, you know, I think there's always things that he does, whether it's good or bad, that when we get there tomorrow, he gets better from. You can see it, how he takes it to practice field on Wednesday. And, yeah, we got a good feel for him, and we're getting him to know her better each week.
That huge sack there where he's trying to elude is, I mean, you obviously want a guy to try to elude the sack, but at what point do you have to tell him? Do you talk to him like that can't happen?
As soon as he was on the ground and I was yelling in his ear.
What should he do? Throw it away?
Not take a 17-yard sack, throw it left-handed, out of bounds, anything. But, you know, I'm also sitting there with nice and comfortable and no one's chasing me. But, yeah, that's what we want to do. I mean, it was 3rd down. But, yeah, let's be in a better punting situation. And I know the O-line never likes getting that if they have to. I mean, it wasn't good protection. He had to get flushed. He couldn't hang in the pocket. But once he did get out of there, let's try not to take that sack if you can.
When you signed Gibson in, was it late August? I assume, did you envision anything like this, him being your full-time starter?
I mean, just we wanted to bring him with depth. Just, you know, we have one of the best safeties in the league last year with Jimmy Ward. And then when Jimmy got hurt, we knew there was a chance that his playing time was going to go up, and we were glad to get him. But, you know, I was with Gip in Cleveland, which I think was his rookie or second year. And I thought he was such a good player then. I've just, you know, I haven't got to be with him since then, but just following him his whole career, playing against him, watching him in Jacksonville and Chicago. And he's been such a good player for a long time. Thought we were very fortunate that he was available when he was. And he's come in here and he's been the kind, I feel like, kind of the wisdom of our defense. You know, I mess around with him, call him dad sometimes, which he's not. But he's been so consistent, always put in that top on our the backstop on our defense. He's got great ball skills. He always has. And the biggest thing is it's allowed us to use Jimmy Ward and nickel too. When we lost E-Man, which was a huge loss for us, and having to bump Demo out, that was tough. And that was right when Jimmy came back. And Jimmy whether he's an all-pro safety or an all-pro nickel. It's been great to be able to have Jimmy there and use him there and get him around the box more where he can make so many more plays. And the only reason we've been able to do that is because we have Gip on the back end, so it's been huge.
You have a chance to say anything to J.J. Watt after the game? What do you think of the reception he received?
I didn't, but the reception was awesome. He more than deserved that. It was real cool that he could get that, especially on the road. I was very upset with him all game because he's still unbelievable. I mean, he was a problem throughout the game for us on the run game, in the run game and the pass game. But for it to slow down there at the end, for him to have his moment where he could walk off, and I mean, I think everyone in this country respects the hell out of him for what he's done on and off the field, and he's an all-time great.
Now, all the calls specifically to Kittle in the red zone, but the fact that he's Purdy and he are so locked in, does it make you call those plays, or is it just him finding him when he's open?
A little bit of both. I mean, Kittle's always designed for down there. It's just kind of how the coverages go and stuff like that. And both of them, he was the number one read on that. And Kittle ran a hell of a route, and we blocked. One took a little while to develop, so we're going to have to block well for it. I think Brock stepped up in the pocket, bought a little bit of time, and hit Kittle in the back of the end zone. It was a great man-to-man route, and those guys have had a pretty good connection so far.
Rolling right, was that a broken play where it kind of he and Elijah maybe, or was that?
No, it was supposed to be a handoff, and they missed it. I didn't get to see it. I was expecting it to be handed off, so I was watching down the field, so I'm not really sure who was at fault on it. But Brock quickly, once he missed the handoff, just turned it into a run, and it was a broken play.
Why do you say that you're better now than when you clinched the division in Seattle?
I think the more we play together, the more our guys stay healthy, the better they get. I think our running game's gotten better. Our guys just the way we've been blocking and stuff. I think having Debo out, having Elijah out, it's allowed to put more pressure on other guys, which usually that helps guys. And I think it has. I think Christian's got a lot more used to kind of our style and stuff, and I think he's getting better as it goes. And just sometimes it takes time to click, and I think we're getting better with time. Injuries from the game: Demetrius Flanagan fouls, had a neck, never returned. We'll look at that some more. Go ahead.
How is that? You still have to play the game. There's stuff to play for, but is it a huge relief that you got out of it mostly unscathed?
Yes, huge relief. It was not frustrating. It's just a stressful week when you need to win, but you know what you're doing the next week also. So to be able to pull off the win, protect the guys a little bit there at the end, and to get out without any serious injuries was we were very relieved.
Getting any updates on the Eagles score or the other scores?
No, got no updates. When I came in, I saw them kick an onside kick, so that ended pretty fast. And we'll watch the game tonight, and it sounds like we're going to play Green Bay or Seattle, so we'll see.
Well, in the big picture, just how do you feel about your team right now? 10-game winning streak in the regular season, heading into the postseason.
I feel real good. I felt real good about our team when we won the division there about a month ago, and I feel better about them now. I think we've gotten better since that point, and we'll be ready to go. See if it's Saturday or Sunday, but excited for this week, excited to find out who we're playing, and real excited for the playoffs.
Another offensive production of over 30 points, Kyle. So how is that offense performing, and especially what are you seeing out of Brock?
I think he's playing consistent, and he's making some good decisions with the ball, has avoided some bad turnovers, and has done a good job getting some good players the ball who've done a good job making some plays, and he's hung in there on third down, made some key throws. It's nice to get a run game going too, but just overall, I thought the guys played real well.
Do you see his ability to change arm slots in the face of pressure when you were scouting him, or is that new?
No, he's always been pretty good at changing his arm angle and things like that.
So being one sack away from the franchise record, was there any difficulty in taking him out at that point?
A little bit, but I think the bigger one. Hopefully, he finished leading the league. He did, right? Son didn't get many. It would have been nice to also get the franchise record too, but Alden did a hell of a job, and I think Nick's pretty happy with leading the league this year.
What do you think of Elijah and Debo returning, and how important is it to have them at close to full strength in the playoffs?
It's very important. I think we've done a good job without them, but those are two of our best players. Yeah, they were healthy this week. We wanted to get them in just to get them back into it, and mainly to help us win, but also for them, knock off some rust, get them playing again. And I think it went real well for both of them. They're both able to play some, touch the ball, do some stuff away from the ball also, and seemed like a success for both of them.
haven't seen very many games.
The DeMar shirt, did you sense any different or special emotion from the guys today, or did you have any yourself just getting back on the field?
No, it was emotional watching the Buffalo game. I got to see some of that this morning. I thought it was so cool when watching the national anthem. I mean, those were his brother. I mean, this league's a fraternity, so everyone related to it, and it was so hard watching that, especially the Monday night when no one knew what was going to happen. And it's turned into such a happy story, at least the fact that he got out of that where we thought it was. So guys have been real positive with it and happy for the situation in the last couple of days. But watching the Buffalo, you could see the emotion, and it was unbelievable to see that opening kickoff return and just the timing of it. And that was a real special moment, I think, for the league and for everyone to see, just humans in general.